The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
What time is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Undisputed Era has arrived.
You have the 25 days of Christmas. Impact's gonna have the 25 days of releases.
I send it you to deletion! Yeah!
It's hashtag Alpha versus Omega.
Let's just say hashtag aroused.
No, you're gonna step in that ring and you're gonna be looking at me eye to eye and you're gonna realize you ain't got a chance.
Thank God we don't have to talk about it anymore because she got that cancer out of there.
Sean stole my answer. I'm just glad we don't have to talk about this anymore.
And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life.
I've asked WWE to re-look at my case. And they sent me to the best neurologists all over the country. And all of these neurologists, every specialist, every doctor I've seen has said the same thing, and it is this: you are cleared. I don't know exactly when or where I will get back in this ring. Does that sound like a good idea? I don't know for sure if that's going to happen, but will Daniel Bryan compete in a WWE ring again?
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling to the mat.
And your hosts, Gary Vaughan, Sean Garmer, and Paul Vieser.
Yes. It's time for another excellent episode of Wrestling to the Max. This is episode 291, and we, of course, are brought to you by the W2M Network, folks. Yes, I am so excited to be here. I am Gary Vaughan, and along with me is Mr. Sean Garmer.
What's up, everybody?
And guys and gals, this is going to be a lot of fun tonight because we are going to be full of news. That's right. We've got a full docket of interesting wrestling news from this past week and a little bit from last week that we had not covered yet. So we'll be getting into that and a lot more. And plus, we're going to jump into some great content when it comes to Strong Style Evolved. That's right. That'll be happening this Sunday on AXS TV. So we want to make sure we give you a nice little preview of that show. It looks of greatness. We can't wait to talk about that. So much more to come on that. Hey, don't forget, W2Mnet.com is the place where you go get all our great stuff. Everything that we have to offer, it's right there. That's where the W2M Network lives. So please go check it out. All the great podcasts you can handle. Plus, don't forget also to go subscribe, rate, and review over at W2M Network. Once you do that on whatever podcasting platform you use, you will get every single show that we have. And not only that, you'll give us a little feedback and a great review for us to kind of check out. And, of course, those 5 stars also give us a little bit more notability. People can see us a little bit more easier when you give us those 5 stars. And also, our friends over at 411mania.com and lastwordonprowrestling.com, they deserve some support because they support us. So make sure you go check them out as well. Well, Sean, we are here, and I know we missed Monday's show with a lot of things going on right now. We're trying to work some things around and all that, so we're getting all that done. And I'm just glad we're going to get a chance to talk some wrestling this week. We've got a lot of cool stuff to get into. But I just got to stop and say, man,
Well, I think we got Gary back on now.
yeah, the crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden, nothing, right? Well, that's because I'm crazy. I didn't keep my laptop plugged in tonight, so you all got a chance to have me die and then come back to life. So one up for me.
Thankfully, y'all didn't have to sit there for like the 10 minutes waiting.
Yeah, because, back in the day when we definitely were, man, we've got to do this live no matter what. We're going to stream live every time. And then every time we did that, it would just be like, oh, crap, something happened. Oh, we have to, hurry up. The stream's still going. So now we don't have to worry about that so much. We kind of backed off that a little bit. But, hey, that's okay. But, yeah, I was just kind of mentioning we've got a lot going on right now. March Madness is going strong, and I love the fact that you get all these nice little upsets, and it's been fun. And, of course, all the other things going on in the real life is nuts, too. So that's what's nice about this show is we finally get a chance to just talk about something that we enjoy, and that is the world of wrestling. So, Sean, without any further delay, how about we jump into some quick hits?
Yes, let's do it.
It's time for wrestling news. Quick hits.
All right.
Well, let's start this thing off, guys, by talking a little bit about Mark Henry. Mark Henry, of course, as we saw on Monday Night Raw, was announced to be the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Texas native, I'm kind of holding that a little close to my heart. I love that he's finally in, too, because he deserves it, not just because he's a Texas native, Sean.
Oh, for sure. The man from Silsbee, Texas is going to be in. And, yeah, the world's strongest man deserves it. I mean, not only for his accolades in the ring, but for those in the Olympics. And, let's be honest. I mean, when he first came in, it looked like he was just going to be this injury-prone dude that Vince gave a lot of money to, and he wasn't going to mean anything. And then you had sexual chocolate happen. Got to give a lot to Mae Young. I'm sure he'll say that in his speech. The hand as well. We'll always remember the hand. I don't think. The 90s had that saying, "Talk to the hand." We'll always remember the birth of the hand. That will be the thing. And then, of course, they had to go and absolutely take that somewhere we never thought they would on, was it Raw 25 or
Raw 1000?
Raw 1000 with the hand actually being there. That was great. So yeah, I just, Mark Henry is like the fact that at his age that he came back at, and to be able to actually finally become a world champion with the Hall of Pain thing, that was so great for him. So happy that he finally got that moment, not just as a company man, but to get over and be something in the company. And he has that shiny moment now to go into the Hall of Fame and say, "Yeah, I made it."
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, Mark Henry has the accolades. He's got also the work he does outside of wrestling now that really stands up for itself, helping people in his community, helping people around the world. Of course, he's been a big proponent of the bully campaign. Many, many things Mark Henry's been doing out there, and you just got to be proud of him. You got to look at his career and just say, man, the guy's went through his definitely ups and major downs, but he's been really steady, honestly, and kept pushing forward throughout his career. And the guy, I really at one time didn't think that he was going to do much. I just kind of mid-carder that's just, there, and he's got this special thing that he's strong, but what else is there to him? And as time passed by, you just saw that this guy was special and that he had a lot to offer in the world of wrestling. And I was just really, really happy to hear that he made this year's Hall of Fame. I think that's a really sweet deal. Now, after looking at the picture, I'm like, dear Lord, how many people are they going to induct this year? But they do this every year. You just sit there and say, wow, another one? But hey, it's never too late to induct a guy like Mark Henry. Stand-up guy. I just can't say enough how proud of him I am. So great job for Mark Henry. And it's really interesting, Sean. I mean, I know that there's a lot of big men that have made the Hall of Fame over time. But, I mean, he's definitely one of those guys that can be held to really the standards of the best of the big men, I would say. I mean, he's been there for such a long time. He's had a lot of success. So you got to give him credit for not just being great amongst the guys and gals that are out there right now, but of all time.
I mean, I don't know that he's like on the top tier of the list because WWE's had so many big guys, right? But he's in there. I don't know where I would place him right now, but yeah,
I'm geared towards the super heavy, strong guys. Like, I guess maybe I should say strength, less letter. I mean, you put him up against, definitely, big, tall.
I mean,
strong
you talk
guys.
about like real strength guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just being huge, massive guys and you're strong because you're huge.
Yeah.
Like he was the world's strongest man for real, like in the world's strongest man competitions, and he in the Olympics, all that stuff. So I mean, that's an accolade by itself. So not too many people can say they did that. I mean, whenever Braun Strowman goes in, he would go in for the same reasons.
Yeah,
right. I mean, if he ever does, but yeah.
I mean, and looking at this too, it's kind of funny because even when we were discussing this pre-show, you mentioned the name Bam Bam Bigelow, and there's a lot of people that speculated Bam Bam was going to go in this year, and it seems that Mark Henry has taken that spot. I think Bam Bam is a slam dunk. He's got to be in. I think he will be in. I don't think that's really much of a question. It's just they have not done it yet. They're probably biding their time, but we're getting information that WrestleMania 35 most likely will be at MetLife Stadium. To me, I mean, that's his backyard. So to me, Bam Bam Bigelow will probably be next year. I would at least hope, Sean. I think it's the perfect place.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it would make it... it depends, right? We don't really know where his family lives, which I think that would be the most important part, is easier on the family to get there and everything else. The fans obviously would know him there, but you got to remember that WrestleMania is such a global thing at this point that this is why I think they've started to make it to where it used to, right? Even when... they had him in Texas before, they would really try to be local about who got in and all that stuff. Then you'd have the one guy that transcends everything. It doesn't matter. Now it seems like they don't really pay attention that much to where they are when they induct certain people, because who goes to WrestleMania? It's all the hardcore fans. They're going to know who those guys are. But I do think it helps, right? He's from Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's where the character was from, where he's from. Do it there, have him be inducted there. It could just be that maybe WWE had an idea for another posthumous guy that they wanted to, or girl that they wanted to induct, and they said, okay, well, let's just leave the one posthumous induction next year for Bam Bam or something. So they have various reasons why they do these kind of things.
Yeah. And I wish we really understood them. I really do wish we could be a fly on the wall in those meetings of who they're going to induct, why, and, what the real reasoning is. And I think it all boils down to what Vince wants. Let's be honest. Sure, there are probably people that have a vote in the process, but we all know who the alpha male is, and, what he plans is what he plans. So
even though you got to give it to Triple H for all these reconciles that have happened over the years now, of how they've been able to get some of these people in that you go, oh, he'll never get in, and there he is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I would agree, and that's what's nice, with more than one strong voice in the room, it's going to be a lot more well-rounded Hall of Fame. Let's be honest, it's just going to be a lot better now compared to what it could have been if it was just Vince and all by himself. So. And like I said, I fully expect Bam Bam to be next year. If he's not, he's not. But I mean, to me, it just makes sense. New York, New Jersey, for that guy to go in, it just seems too perfect. So. Well, let's talk about something that's, it's the biggest news of the week. And, of course, this is something that people have been talking about pretty much all week long. It's been full of excitement, and that is the return of Daniel Bryan to the wrestling ring. No, not just in there to stand in as commissioner, as a competitor. That's right. He was cleared by WWE doctors to come back and be a full-time performer in the WWE. Now, is this meaning that he's going to be in there like a lot of these other guys like Rusev or anyone else who's going to be in there 300 days a year? That's not the case. We're probably going to see Daniel Bryan take a schedule more in the sense of maybe like a Randy Orton, but he'll still be a full-fledged member of the roster. He'll have his big matches and things like that take place. But let's just start with that, Sean. I mean, this was kind of shocking news to me. I didn't read a lot of wrestling news, I don't think, on Tuesday when SmackDown came on. I really didn't get myself ingrained in all that. And then all of a sudden, before the SmackDown actually came on, I just took a peek, and that was the big part of the whole news day was Daniel Bryan's back. This is great. I am so happy for Daniel Bryan. This is great news. I mean, what did you think when you first heard?
Are they playing us again? Is this another outlandish rumor going around?
Yeah.
No, he announced it himself, so I don't think you go in. Now, look, if this might be one of those things where I'll be honest, I don't watch that much wrestling as I used to, just because, new job and just the realities of life now, but I think that if this turns out to be one of those things that they do for a storyline, I might not watch WWE at all for a while. And I think I'm not going to be the only one. So I think this might be one of those things that they finally just absolutely turn on the company if they do this for a storyline reason. But I think the way that Daniel Bryan was very passionate in the speech, he mentioned Brie a lot, about how Brie kept talking about, or Brie kept him in the spirits, about going and searching for his dreams. And I'm sure it was her that was giving him the encouragement that, hey, even if it's not in WWE, you can do it elsewhere, right? And that was the idea that, okay, he's just waiting this contract out. And then he's going to go there and he's going to go to New Japan and show everybody, or he's going to go to ROH and show everyone. And I think, the big thing for this is that it's shocking. It's that, wow, this is happening at WWE. And they let him announce this on SmackDown, and they made a big deal about it. Obviously, this is a storyline for WrestleMania, and they're trying to hype WrestleMania around Daniel Bryan being an extra piece in this cog. And I think that's great because, if you're going to have Daniel Bryan come back, why not have it be WrestleMania where he made his stardom right at WrestleMania 30? So I think this is awesome. As a huge Daniel Bryan fan, as like Daniel Bryan was him winning the title, I think, and I'm not the only one, a lot of people that was like your huge moment of like loving wrestling was, wow, this guy that we all really love got to the title and he stuck it to the man and whatever, even though there's many people that believe that the whole thing was part of the storyline. That's very hard to believe sometimes, but I just think it's great. Like, that really, I don't know, I wasn't that enthused about WrestleMania, and now I'm like, oh man, I'm watching it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy for Daniel Bryan, too. And, you're right. This is definitely a big feature to WrestleMania. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of things that people could say, well, I'm excited about seeing Ronda Rousey's first match. Or, yeah, man, we've been waiting to see, what happens with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Shane. That's going to be a lot of fun. Or just many different little things here and there. AJ versus Nakamura, part 2, or at least WWE style, say it that way. But this is definitely a reason to want to watch WrestleMania for sure, and especially if you've had some Daniel Bryan fans who've kind of fell away from wrestling since he was not allowed to come back. Maybe they see that he is back and they're going to want to tune in. So I think this is great news, but I think this more honestly is about the fact that WWE thought just what you just mentioned a minute ago, Sean. This guy is prepared to walk away and go sign up with any other company. He's ready. He's going to do it. And I think really honestly, WWE knew a lot of doctors had already cleared him, that they were not going to listen. They were going to go by their doctor no matter what. And then when his contract got closer and closer to being done, their options started to lessen. His started to grow. So they said, you know what? Let's let him do it. If he's going to do it, why not with us, right? Why send him off to Japan and let him sign up with New Japan and make them even better? Because trust me, they're great right now. Why do you want them to get even better? And then, of course, any of the promotion out there, even in the U.S., to compete, maybe not strongly compete, but he would definitely draw numbers. So I think that this is kind of a forceful thing in a way. I think WWE kind of had to do something they were kind of not sure they wanted to.
Yeah, I think anybody that says no, that doesn't have anything to do with it is kidding themselves, right? Because WWE knows that time's ticking, and people are rumoring him for a bunch of different shows, and Triple H is not stupid. He's in with that crowd with NXT and all that stuff, and it's just, I'm sure I don't know how many times maybe he had to say something to Vince or whoever finally made this decision to go, hello, he's going to leave. He's going to go with another company. And, New Japan's already coming over here. And he could be that guy that signs with New Japan. And, oh, my God, they're selling out 15,000, 20,000 seat arenas all of a sudden. And, you throw Jericho in there. And, Jericho could decide, oh, well, Daniel Bryan, I'm just staying with New Japan now. I'm not going WWE. I mean, there could be other people that go, oh, Daniel did it? I'm leaving too. Bryan's that guy that could bring CM Punk back.
Yep.
I'm not saying that it will happen, right? Because he's back to doing MMA. They're going to let him have another fight or something. He'll probably just lose, and then it'll be back to whatever he was doing before. So
Comic-Cons.
It's true, Gary. Go on.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that he's going to be getting better in whatever time he's been doing.
I just recently heard Chael Sonnen say the same exact thing, and I think I could trust his opinion. So
I don't know. Chael Sonnen also, he believes everything he says. So, I mean, if there's anybody that believes in himself more, I'd like to know than Chael Sonnen. But still, Daniel Bryan is a guy that people love, and people will follow him. There will be people that, look, hey, the indies have proven, right? You don't need WWE to make a living, and Daniel Bryan's already made his money.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? There's people that are sitting there going around going, well, Daniel Bryan needs WWE. He's got a kid now. Hello? Have you seen how Daniel Bryan lives? That dude is not wasting any money, okay? He's not. He makes his own he saves his own poo for fertilizer for his plants. I mean, come on. People don't do that in 2018. Daniel Bryan does. I mean, the dude, he doesn't have cable subscriptions out the wazoo. He is a saver. That family is rich, but they do not waste that money, okay? And he can write that check right now for Birdie to go to college, okay? And he's not going to be worried about that at all. Even if they had another kid, they will be fine. So, yeah. And look, Daniel Bryan could go sign big money deal with New Japan right now, or whenever he gets off, whenever his contract's up, he'll be fine. Okay, he doesn't need WWE to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
WWE needs him. WWE needs him. Well, no, WWE doesn't need him either because their revenue's fine. But they would love him instead of another company having him.
It's just like them signing Big Show for an agent contract. They don't need Big Show. He's like the least of their worries. But just to keep him off the market, they gave him a job. Just to keep him off, and he's kind of done with wrestling, really. But just to keep him off the market, and that's the same thing with a guy that can get in the ring, like Daniel Bryan, that can be very successful. They want to keep him off the market. So, I mean, you're right.
Well,
I mean,
plus, you got to imagine Bree doesn't want him to have to be. Bree doesn't want him going to Japan if he didn't have to be. Right?
Well, think about their show, the Total Bellas. They couldn't show Daniel Bryan because he'd be a part of New Japan, and WWE's not going to want to see a New Japan guy on that show.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got a lot going on. Does he really want to go there? I mean, I'm sure because Daniel Bryan's such a competitive guy that he'd want to go there just to prove something. But if he left WWE on better terms, right, maybe they do the thing like Jericho where they go, okay, well, you have our blessing to do a couple of shows in New Japan. Or, hey, if you want to come back, go do your thing with New Japan for a little bit and come back or whatever, Mm-hmm. But if he leaves on bad terms, maybe they don't bring him back. And so then he is working the indies. And I mean, yeah, Daniel Bryan could decide to work once a month and they'd be good, right? He could just work the PWG schedule, right? And they'd be fine too. I mean, the money's not the thing. It's just, I'm sure Bree likes the being on Total Divas, being on Total Bellas, doing the stuff with Nikki, getting all that, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants Bryan to be able to be on all that and them be in the same company, even though technically Bree, I guess, is not technically in. I don't know how that works. Technically in the company or whatever. But, yeah, it's just, look, would I have loved to be able to line up a bunch of dream matches for Daniel Bryan in New Japan or Daniel Bryan doing the G1? That'd be amazing, right? And it could still happen. But if it's Daniel Bryan and a bunch of dream matches in WWE, that's fine too. But it's not going to just be that. It's going to be Daniel Bryan doing, match with Kane again. And Daniel Bryan having a match with Braun. And Daniel Bryan having a match with, some other person. Not just the AJ Styleses and the Shinsuke's and all that. I think people that think that he's just going to go from one dream match to the next are crazy. He's going to have programs that you don't care about, but because it's Daniel Bryan, they're going to be a little more interested than you would be otherwise. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the rumor going around of how extreme this is for WWE, right? That they're making him get cleared by doctors. After every match, he's going to be looked at by a doctor. Of course, this is from Mr. Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer, so I don't, sometimes he's wrong, but it wouldn't be surprising at all, right? Because they have to make sure that he's okay after every match, and if for some reason he's showing signs of concussion again, then they got to be careful because that's why they had to make sure Daniel Bryan didn't say they'll let the fans chant, but they didn't let Daniel Bryan say I'm going to wrestle here or point to the sign or whatever because he's got to get through having some matches first and making sure he's okay and make sure he didn't get a concussion again and none of the symptoms and all that stuff. So I'm glad they're doing this though because they could just stick to what they were saying and just no. So.
Yeah, and I still kind of feel like this is a begrudgingly yes. But, I mean, I think it's because they're so fearful of a lawsuit. I think they're so fearful that something major could happen to Daniel Bryan.
Well, not just that, the lawsuit that they have going on right now, right? They that lawsuit of this, like the NFL one.
Mm-hmm.
And this helps their case to say, well, we took somebody that was huge for our company, and we made him sit.
Yeah.
Because of this. So don't tell us that we don't care about CT and all that.
Yeah, exactly. You're right on that, and that's just being safe. And I don't blame him for that at all. Let's be honest. I mean, the concussions he's had were very serious, and they were nothing
but
to
Dawes
balk
had
at.
more than him, though.
I agree. But just as like I do, Sean. Yeah, we've seen many of football players that have multiple concussions, and then one guy's had 2, and he's out of football, and the other guy that had 10 still playing. It doesn't make sense, but it's the brain. You just can't measure it really. They're still studying the brain to this day, figuring out every.
But when he goes to so many doctors and has like 10 doctors clear him,
I
but
know.
the one doctor won't, it's like makes you look bad.
Oh yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But WWE doesn't care about that. All they care about is their own well-being and the company's well-being, and that's what it is. So. I mean, let's just be honest. This is great news. And despite the fact that there is still a little bit of worry that, Daniel Bryan may have to go back to what he was, at this point, as we sit here today, he's ready to wrestle. And that makes a lot of people happy. It makes me happy, and I know, Sean, you happy. And this is great news, and we can be triumphant, And
So
he doesn't
how aroused would you be if you did get to have a Daniel Bryan and Naito match? I mean,
Sean, just teasing me like this, it's not fair. Let's just say I wouldn't be living a semi-charm kind of life. It'd be a lot more in a semi. It'd be great. It would definitely be very arousing. Let's just be honest. So I want to see it, but it's not going to happen as long as WWE still got their grasp on Daniel Bryan. Yeah. But the one thing that like you mentioned, he's still going to be making money. He don't have to go out to the Indies and get it because he would get plenty of money out of the Indies. But now he can stay with a contract with WWE and do what he needs to do with them, and still he's still able to do what he's able to do, like chase Bree around with a bucket, saying we got to poop in this, and she's like no, things like that. I'm sorry, that whole thing about him pooping for his plants, it just never gets old.
It's amazing, though.
It is, and I just imagine him breathe like, I want to use the toilet. He's like, no, you are not going to use that toilet.
That was the whole thing on Total Divas.
It wasn't really.
Segment
oh, God.
Of him trying to make the whole family, like his mom, like her mom and everybody else, use the toilet outside. And Bree was like, look, there's guests here. We're not going to make them use the toilet outside.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. So
a lot of that was probably played up for the cameras, but
I'm sure. But God, man. See, that's what I get if I don't watch that show. But still, it's just too funny. But yeah, we're happy for Daniel Bryan, and hey, let us know what you think about this whole Daniel Bryan thing. And I know we see a lot of stuff out there, but if you have any special comments or want to respond to something we said, make sure you leave a comment because I'm kind of curious what everybody thinks about this still. Let's talk about something that we did not talk about last week, Sean, because we left the show and then this happened and then we did not have a show following. So I know it's a little old, but I still think it's very important for us to cover. We don't have to spend a ton of time on it. But we, as of last week, remember the whole Fabulous Moolah thing that WB announced 2 weeks ago for Raw, that whole, Fabulous Moolah Women's Battle Royale was going to take place. Well, of course, the internet spoke up. The people arose. Social media, even informed Snickers, had many, many petitions everywhere getting signed to drop the name of Fabulous Moolah from that Battle Royal, and it worked. And Snickers, in fact, even made a comment. They were disappointed. So WWE said, hey, hell, we're not losing money out of this thing. So now it is just the Women's Classic Battle Royale, I believe. But it's a big deal still, even though Fabulous Moolah is not attached anymore for many reasons that we've spoken about on this show again. We'll kind of maybe go through a few of those. But here we are, Sean. The people spoke up, and WWE had to listen.
Moolah's pimp cream was too strong, man. It was too strong, and it was awful. And WWE, look, listen. WWE doesn't give a crap about this at all. Let's stop acting like they did, because if they did, they wouldn't have named it after Fabulous Moolah to begin with, okay? They did this because, like Gary said, Snickers got on the phone and was like, we've been contacted that you are naming a match after a woman that did this, this, and this. And we have sources, confirmation, and we are sponsoring your pay-per-view, your biggest pay-per-view, by the way. We might be pulling out if you don't change the name of this match. And they go, well, like you said, they ain't losing money out of this. No, thank you. So, just what's hilarious is how they're going to adjust to talking about this on TV. They're going to act like, the Fabulous Moolah thing never existed. So, but
what happens to that statue is what I want to know. What are they going to do with that statue? They got it right now at the WWE office just sitting there.
It'll go like on auction or something. If they're smart, they just sell it off in like some WWE auction and just be like, NDA, you don't talk about this.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, this is funny. Like, it's just, it shouldn't have taken that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It should have just been people raise your voice, say, look, this is not right. It's going against everything that you guys keep promoting and keep standing for. Please. But WWE should realize this before this even comes out, right? Like, somebody, what is, like, HR, like some PR? Like, don't you have a PR team? Like, this is what PR is supposed to do. They are supposed to prevent this stuff from happening. And it's like, the problem is Vince is like his own machine. He doesn't, there's no reason to have a PR team or advertising team or whatever with Vince because he doesn't listen to nobody. So it's like, come on. Like, really? It's like,
you know what, Sean? I'll be honest with you. I think this was Vince trying to sneak it under the radar. And I know it sounds a little ridiculous. This is the biggest show that WWE has, but I think he wanted to give Fabulous Moolah something big because, well, Mae Young got her own classic, right? She got her own tournament. Well, this is a way to get Moolah's name on something big, but without it being, the biggest thing on the card, right? Because, sure, it's on there, but it's not going to be the biggest thing on the card. And you also got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, things like that, they're there, but nothing super big as the main events that'll be at WrestleMania. And it didn't work. People care. People wanted to make a difference by, petitions and letting Snickers know. They wanted to make sure people knew about, what Moolah did. And, let's be honest. She was never charged with any crimes. This was all hearsay. This is all going by what people have, kind of said out in public and brought up. But nothing was ever criminally
Hey, but
charged.
how many times have we seen this with people? When they do something wrong and, they were never criminally charged, but the fact that it's brought up and you have sources, that's all you need. And sometimes you don't need those sources. You just need a claim. And oops, well, that person just lost their job. But
Ask Enzo.
Yeah, ask Enzo. So, that's the thing, though. Right now, when you're talking about a women's revolution and then you want to have this person as the person you put on the name of the first ever women's battle royal that, I don't know, that's going to mean nothing at WrestleMania. Yeah, just not a good look.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, I understand why people are upset, and I get it. And, of course, all the rumors, the hearsay, and things that probably did have. I don't discount at all that Moolah did, so, maybe even a majority of the things that people are saying. But, I mean, you do kind of feel bad because she was someone in history that did mean something to the women's division in wrestling, right? She actually, made a way for a lot of those ladies to get on shows, even if she took all their money.
Every time somebody brings her up nowadays, though, it feels like that comes up. I think even like 5 years ago or further in that, you did think about Moolah, the person that held the title longer than anybody else and all those great accolades and everything else. But it's like recently, it just feels like when you mention her name, all you get is disgust. Because all those things have come to light, so it's difficult to want to think of the positives at all when something like that happens.
Yeah, it is really difficult to like you said, think of her in a different light after all those things have been kind of brought up, and you have people speaking out and things like that. So I mean, it is what it is right now. It's sadly never going to change for Moolah unless someone gets some honest facts about her life that really proves that she was not involved, and that's just not going to happen. Let's be honest.
Open the cold case. 20 years
open.
later. Law and Order. Moolah.
Did you know that she saved a batch of puppies in 1962? Oh no, I didn't know that. Yeah, and she also saved a farmer from sudden death.
Wow.
Not going to happen. Sorry, people. So, hey, like I said, this is not a big deal to a lot of people because it's just a name. But for those who do follow wrestling, who've been following the history of wrestling, this is kind of interesting, and it also brings up the fact that once again, like Sean, you've already brought up, Vince pushed this through even against probably some better advisement. Now he's kind of seeing this is not 1996. They're not just going to ignore it or let this just kind of slide by. They're going to make a big stink. So. Let's talk about some other things that are kind of interesting here. Let's talk about the fact that WrestleMania 34 is coming up, and Rusev is looking for a celebrity to fight. I know this is a little piece of news that I thought was kind of funny. He sent us some tweets, Sean, and I thought to myself, okay, Rusev Day is huge right now. I wonder what celebrity could pop up and just have a fun little time with him. Even if it wasn't just a match, I think it'd be kind of great if some celebrity just kind of popped up and messed up Rusev Day. So who knows who that could be, though? They've already have Stephen Amell and guys like that. I wonder who they could have pop up.
Well, I mean, they've been rumoring Shaq for how long now?
Mm-hmm.
I guess he could show up for that. I don't think he would because, a Big Show would be a much bigger match if he really wanted to do that. I could see, who has history with Rusev? One electrifying man.
Yeah.
He is technically a celebrity.
Yeah, I guess so, but do you think that WWE would,
he could have another 6-second match with Rusev.
I guess so. He could. He could just do that, come out and rock bottom, and you're done.
Yeah.
But,
he could also just come out. I could also see something where Rusev just comes out, right, and says, "I'm still waiting for a celebrity to come have a match with me on Rusev Day," and The Rock comes out and says something. Maybe he has Lana out there with him, or he makes fun of Aiden English, because we know The Rock likes to sing and whatever. He can just have a whole concert out there for himself, or why not? It's The Rock. Why not? They could try to get somebody from whatever. Well, you're definitely not going to get anybody from Avengers or anything like that. But
yeah.
I just don't really know who you're grabbing that is just going to make this huge difference. But WWE is crazy for any kind of celebrity, so
yeah.
At that point, D-List going against Rusev would be great for them.
Well, you saw where Macaulay Culkin answered and said he would face him.
Oh my God! Please no. I think I just not watched that match.
Oh, I don't think many people would. I think that'd be the time I gotta get a sandwich. Yeah, I think it's time the pizza gets ordered.
I would want Rusev to just absolutely obliterate Macaulay Culkin. Just please.
Yeah. Good God, I don't want that to happen. So I just thought that was kind of funny, seeing Rusev actually calling out, saying he would like to face a celebrity. Let's see if anything does take place for that. We also got to mention that Hulk Hogan is in talks with WWE, so I don't know where that's going to go. But Sean, we've been kind of waiting to hear more about that, and him actually getting in the room with them means that they're probably closer to doing something than not.
Well, brother, I don't know what we're going to be doing here, but what are we You're gonna come out and be like, "I'm at the Silver Dome again."
It's good to be here in Seattle, brother. We're in New Orleans. Oh, yeah, New Orleans, yeah.
We're in Madison Square Garden, man. Like, no, Hogan, we're not there either. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm at this point, like, I'm happy for the man if he wants to be back in wrestling that bad, but I'm so over. I don't have anything against him at this point. Like, look, the stuff with the racism, whatever. If he's a racist, he's a racist. It's not there's way worse racists out there than Hulk Hogan saying something on a sex tape. I mean, like, it's been enough time. Just whatever. I mean, they want to let him back. Why not? I'm just so over the Hulk. I mean, I feel like all the time, every time WrestleMania comes around, we got to talk about Hogan coming back to WWE to do something. Are they gonna Are they gonna take him where he's back in the Hall of Fame now after they secretly took him out, even though they didn't? But
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea, and I'm sure they will put him back and just kind of put his face back on that nice little website or, wherever they keep those lists. And, I'm right there with you. I have no really hatred towards Hulk Hogan. I just don't have much interest in seeing him. He doesn't do much for me, man. I mean, his time was so long ago now, right? I mean, so really, what is there to offer? I've already got John Cena kind of growing. I mean,
the hardcore fans, they're gonna love that, right? You still got the dads going to these things, and you got. I mean, we're dads, but I'm saying, like, you got the our dads going to these things still. I mean, you got even grandpas going to these. I mean, so he's gonna appeal to the audience. You got the Europeans that love him. As WrestleMania is a fun time. Why not? I don't have a problem with it. Just if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be hurting at all because it didn't.
No, I agree, and it's not going to change anything for WrestleMania, and it's not actually going to get any buys for the WWE Network for Hulk Hogan to show back up. I just don't think it's going to have. I just don't think it's a big issue for oh my god, we have to have this guy so we can get people to buy the network. There was one thing that I'd like him to come back for, and that's if they name a tournament or something after him. I mean, I guess you could do that, right? I mean, some kind of situation like that to me makes sense to have him come out, because most of the tournaments have been named after people that have been gone for a long while now. So it'd be kind of cool to see someone have a tournament named after him, or some kind of match named after them, and he's actually alive, Because, I mean, you're looking at even NXT has their new title coming out, right? The North American title. Right. I mean, and from my understanding, the only person even going to be put on that is maybe the Chris Benoit Classic. So.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine if they did that? Thinking we're really going to slide this under the radar.
I mean, that's awful because you got the Dusty Classic, and that is so right and so awesome. And then you're going to have the Chris Benoit.
North American? No, I'm kidding. But that would be funny. They're like, we didn't work with Fabulous Moolah, but we can surely sneak this one in, right? So.
Could you imagine, like, people won't care about Hogan coming back, but the moment you name something after him, they're going to be like, oh, but he's a racist.
Yeah. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
You watch, like, it'll be quiet about him coming back or whatever, But the moment they name something after Hogan, it'll be like, you named something after a racist. What is wrong with you?
Could you imagine? I can just see it now. Hulk Hogan standing there by the poster of whatever tournament it's going to be, and you can just see Gallows and Anderson walk up to him and go, "You know what, Hulk? There's a word for you. Well, actually, it's a word you say. It starts with Could you imagine?
That's just wrong.
Boy, I know. I can just imagine. It scared me when Finn Balor did it. When Finn Balor said that the other day, I was like, "Oh boy, that was scary." So. Anyway, enough joking around. That's what's going on with Hulk Hogan. Who cares, in my opinion, what happens with that? But it could happen. Let's talk something that is really awesome, though. Let's talk Zack Sabre Jr. and the fact that he just won the New Japan Cup. Pretty sweet. I think this is a really cool deal. A super talented guy. Definitely well-deserved.
Yeah, I mean, New Japan made a star in one tournament that happened over a certain number of days. I mean, he faced 4 guys. He defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi and tapped him out. He tapped all 4 guys out, but he tapped out Hiroshi Tanahashi to end the whole thing and win New Japan Cup. He gets to go face Kazuchika Okada. He becomes like the first, or not the first. He comes like one of very small since William Regal, when he was called Steven Regal, against Shinya Hashimoto back in the 90s, to go for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So that's an accomplishment in itself. So that's amazing, and it's awesome that New Japan's booking is not perfect, right? I think we talk about them having the best booking and everything else, and they certainly do. I mean, you may not like the way that they do tag matches all the time, and we're about to talk about the Strong Style Evolved show that happens, or that happens on Sunday, and that's got tag matches, and not everybody is a huge fan of the tag matches and all that stuff. But when it comes to making stars, when it comes to doing the big matches, the big events, New Japan is really unequaled when it comes to that. And I think what was the best about it too is they didn't have much of they didn't have interference from Suzuki-gun. It was all Zack Sabre Jr. You had Taka out there. He beats Naito. Then he beats Kota Ibushi. He beats Sonata. And then he beats Tanahashi. I mean, and Tanahashi had a really easy road. He beat Taichi, Bad Luck Fale. His best match was against Juice. Juice Robinson had a fantastic tournament himself. And then these two had a great match. And freaking can't believe he tapped all these guys out. And what a way to make a star already for a 30-year-old guy in Zack Sabre Jr. He's the first ever European wrestler to win New Japan Cup, by the way. So, another accomplishment. And April 1st, he gets to face Okada Sakura Genesis. I mean, just great moment for Zack Sabre Jr. And they let him be himself. They let him just go out there and wrestle. And he got over with the fans. And let's see how well he does against Okada,
Oh, yeah. That's going to be so much fun to watch, man. I'm really, really excited about that matchup. And, once again, I mean, you said it, Sean. This guy had an excellent tournament. He really put in the work, and you just saw the process come to fruition. And now that we're here at this point, you just say good stuff all the way around. I mean, you really don't have anything bad to say about this journey for Zack Sabre Jr. And, once again, I mean, just a fun New Japan Cup tournament in general, right? Lots of highs and just a few lows. So, really, really happy for Zack Sabre Jr. We're excited about seeing him take on Okada on April 1st.
Freaking Yujiro had good matches in this tournament. That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, definitely. So, I encourage anyone, if you still, have not checked it out, you can still go back and watch it. They have a back catalog there on, New Japan World. You can go check out.
Only about $9 a month, and there you go. It's not expensive at all.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, Deshaun, that wraps up pretty much all our news for Quick Hits tonight. Now, I think, like you said, we're going to jump into some Strong Style Evolved. Let's kind of break down this card, buddy.
King of Sport. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
All right. I mean, just recently here, they show up the whole card. As of Thursday, they had not given us the whole card. They wanted to wait until after the New Japan Cup to reveal things because they had to set up certain tag matches and all that. But we do get some treats here because you do have ROH guys involved in this as well. So it should be some fun matches. You might have some duds in here too, right? But for the most part, and you got the two big matches and one that had to be changed due to injury. But still, let's go through this here. So you get Roppongi 3K of Yo Show and Rocky Romero against Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels.
This is a matchup that's going to be a lot of fun. If you got the fact that, you've got a situation where, it's really all about what, Roppongi 3K can do. They're young, they're fresh, they're exciting, all that. And then, of course, you have the other tag team. I believe they call them SoCal and Sister. I always forget their name. It's the worst thing, but I'm pretty sure it's SoCal and Sister. They are great together too. But that's a super veteran team with one young guy. The other team's got one veteran with two young guys, right? So it's kind of a little bit flip flop. It's like opposite ends of the coin, but that's going to bring out a lot of good stuff out of this matchup. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to pick the Roppongi 3K. I think they've got the stuff. I'm so excited about what they're going to do in the future. And I think, SoCal Uncensored has, like I said, a great veteranship. But do they really need the victory? I don't think so. I think it'd be so much fun to see Roppongi 3K stand tall.
Yeah, I can see Roppongi 3K winning this here because, it's not like you need SoCal Uncensored to do just awesome on this show. It's about showcasing New Japan, showcasing the younger guys. I could see something where Rocky almost cost them the win, but Show or Yo come in and save the day, get the win for that team. Just hope it's good because we have seen at times that Kazarian and Daniels can show their age, and we have seen at times that Daniels, the great worker that he is, goes out there and puts on a clear performance. So it just depends on what you get. It is the opener, so maybe they don't go out there with all the pizzazz in the world there. Second match is your a typical New Japan special here. Taguchi Japan outfit of David Finlay and Juice Robinson against Gedo and Hiroki Goto. Most of the time, when Gedo is in a match, he takes the fall. So I would assume that Juice pins Gedo here, and it continues Juice's role.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Juice continues that role, and I think that this is not going to be anything that's going to be mind-blowing or anything like that. But if there's one good thing that does come out of it, it will be that one thing, and that is Juice continually showcasing his ability, and not only that, getting a victory.
For sure. Then we have the Chucky T, of course, of the Best Friends tag team against and Toriano against Davey Boy Smith and Lance Archer, the Killer Elite Squad. Yano's going to do his thing, and Yano, but I think you've seen a lot of Killer Elite Squad getting wins in multi-man matches and stuff like that. They're pushing these guys. I'm going to say Davey Boy pins Chucky T. Killer Elite Squad wins.
Killer Elite Squad definitely has a great chance here. For fun, I'm going to pick the Best Friends, though. I could see some kind of crazy thing happen where the Best Friends upset the Killer Elite Squad. So that's why I'm going to go.
Well, then we have a Bullet Club matchup here. You have Guerrillas of Destiny, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga against Marty Scurll and Cody. I'm going to go with the team of Marty Scurll and Cody. I'm sure there'll be some fun stuff with Marty Scurll doing his antics, and Brandy will be out there doing some stuff. I'd imagine Cody pins like Tama Tonga or something to continue that feud going. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that would be, probably the wisest thing for them. And like you said, to continue that feud. And not only that, I mean, right now, Marty Scurll and Cody are kind of, doing bigger and badder things at the moment. They're really trying to, get their names out there when it comes to, putting their hat in the ring for the title, for Ring of Honor title, or for any title at that. So that's not really what Tama Tonga and all of them are doing. But right now, it makes just more sense for me to give it to the villain and of course Cody.
Oh, for sure. I just feel like you got to keep pushing this thing with Cody right now with the Bullet Club. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Then you get a special 8-man tag, which could be all kinds of fun, or it could be people walking through the moat. But most of the time when Los Ingobernables are involved in a multi-man tag, they deliver. And with the guys that you have representing Taguchi Japan, you could see that as well. You got Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi going at it again. The eternal rivals, you could call them. Bushi gets to go at it, representing LIJ along with Sonata and Tetsuya Naito. You get the Kushida Bushi again here, and you get Kushida Hiromu, which are also sort of like the eternal rivals there. You get Ryusuke Taguchi and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi and Naito have a lot of guff from recent times. You got Sonata and Tanahashi that have issues. But I'm going to say that Sonata pins like Taguchi or something. Definitely a match that I think LIJ is made to win. Taguchi or even maybe Dragon Lee, kind of the odd man out here, and one of them takes the pin.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here because I think LIJ, they're looking good as ever, and I feel like this is a great opportunity against a great tag team. A great group of guys that are really strong contenders, but I really feel like LIJ's got the momentum. And I don't know what, I have this gut feeling that you're completely right, Sean.
Then we get the special singles match that was supposed to be Jushin Thunder Liger against Rey Mysterio, but due to Rey Mysterio's torn or partially torn bicep or pectoral or whatever it is, that's not happening, so Jushin Thunder Liger gets a match with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and Will Ospreay. These two have faced off before. They had a terrific match. I would hope you get to see this again. Will Ospreay also has an outfit that represents Jushin Thunder Liger during his CTU days. Maybe he'll wear that. You add a little bit of spice to things. But this is here to showcase both men. I think Ospreay would win, though, being the younger man and being the champion. Unless they're going to suddenly thrust Liger into the, junior title program, which I doubt they are. Ospreay's here to win this, but hopefully it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's all but a slam dunk that you got to have Will Ospreay win this. And for the reasons you said, Sean, and not only that, I mean, when it was Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Thunder Liger, it was, just going to be a fun, classic matchup and just to see him go at it. And you were probably going to have Rey Mysterio win that. So it really doesn't hurt Liger to lose. And not only, that circumstance, taken care of, but then you got the situation where now a guy like Will Ospreay can definitely showcase his ability and, put another feather in his cap.
For sure. For sure. And then I would think that here you go with the tag match that we talked about. They needed the ending of New Japan Cup for this to happen. You have Zack Sabre Jr. and Minoru Suzuki against Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada. The normal, typical New Japan doing a tag match. So you could see a little taste of what you'll get with CSJ and Okada. And Suzuki and Ishii here. This one's, a lot of history here with all these guys, right? Okada had the tremendous match with Suzuki. CSJ is facing Okada in only a matter of days. It's April 1st. Ishii's, he's the man. He's going to do it all. I don't think you need CSJ to get the pin on Okada here. He already has the match guaranteed. I can't remember if Suzuki has a match already for the SU title or not at Sakura Genesis. So
yeah, I don't remember myself.
If anything, because he already beat Makabe And having Suzuki go beat up Ishii as another one of the I'm beating the old guys would not be totally out of the realm here. I'm trying to look up the card as I'm sitting here talking about this, but either way, should be a fantastic, hopefully we get a good little preview of what we could see with these guys. And let's see, they've updated the card, but I'm not sure if this is going to show everything or not, if that means Suzuki has a match. But, what do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I think you're right. And, looking at this matchup, there's, a wide array of things they can do. But you're completely right. They're telling a story here. They've got, so many different people involved. Mm-hmm. There's multiple things that are a part of this process. So, looking at it, I think that you have to understand that, that's what's taking place here is the fact that we have to realize that, there could be a wide array of different variations. But I think you're right on cue. I think that that's probably what's going to happen. The veterans, they've got a lot on their side. But I think that this is kind of a funny thing, but I think a lot of the young guys are going to get some of the shine in this show.
Certainly. Still not anything here so far, so I'm just going to say that maybe to continue the role here, CSJ pins Ishii just to keep things going. So.
Yeah, you're probably right about that, like I said, but it's one of those things where there are so many things could take place in this. It's really hard to choose, but I think I'll be on your side on this one.
And then you have the one of the big matches signed for this show, which was pretty early. It was the U.S. title was on the line with Jay White defending against Hangman Page, and this could be really good because, I'm one of those that wasn't a huge Hangman Page fan, right? And so he has really come to the forefront and become yes, they don't have anything for Suzuki right now. It's just 2 matches that are set for Sakura Genesis because I think they want to wait until after the Strong Style Evolved show to name any other matches. That's how New Japan usually does these. So it's possible that Ishii could pin Suzuki to get a title shot for the IC title, but we'll see how that goes. Either way, I fully expect Jay White to win here, defend his championship, and beat him the Bullet Club guy.
Yeah, I think you're right. And looking at this, Jay White, it's just he's got that momentum. And coming off of being a young boy for so long, and then coming into this year and really showcasing himself, and it's hard for me to believe that he's going to take a loss and do that so quickly here. So I'm going to go with him.
And then, of course, the main event, the match people have all been waiting for. You gotta hope it really delivers and is the awesome match that you're really we've all been looking forward to, right? Since they hinted at it and said, "Oh, we gotta have this match if you're gonna have Kenny Omega going against Bullet Club." It's the Golden Lovers, Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega against the Young Bucks. How amazing is this? Oh, can't wait.
It's going to be something that's, just I think one of the most exciting moments of the night for sure. It's got to be because just what the excitement we have right now. And I think you're going to feel a little bit more electricity when it actually is taking place. I think the Golden Lovers, they're so exciting, and I'm going to pick them to go ahead and get the victory. But, man, this is going to be an exciting matchup that, I think a lot of people are going to definitely be tuning in to see.
Yeah, Golden Lovers are going to win, but, man, the Young Bucks are going to pull out all the stops to make you think, oh, God, they're not.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
For sure. So we'll be, depending on if I can find a way to get access, because I don't get access with my cable, well, the limited cable that I have, and then, they don't even carry it on the Comcast that I have here. So if I can get a way to get Sling or find a different way to watch it, we might cover it on Sunday night like we would a WWE pay-per-view. If not, it'll be on the regular edition of the Monday show there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that'd be really exciting. And however it comes your way, the best way to find it without really having to go and search for it is just by hitting that subscribe button over at the W2M Network. I don't care if you're using iHeartRadio, Stitcher, heck, even if you're using YouTube, all you do is hit that subscribe button right now. If you're listening to us for whatever platform, just go hit the subscribe button and everything we have will be right there. And if we do it on Sunday night, it'll be in your dock. If we do it on Monday night, guess what? It's going to be in your dock. So go do that. Make sure you don't forget to go do that. Also, rating and reviewing is also a big deal for us, because every time you rate us, you give us maybe 5 stars. That gives everybody else a chance to see us. That gives more people an opportunity to join in on the conversation. And if you give us a review, we can actually look at it and see what you like and dislike. And hey, trust me, we always are up and game for criticism that is, actually, constructive criticism, or, praise that you've really, really liked something that we do and want us to continue doing it. Let us know. So we appreciate that. W2Mnet.com is the place where you go find all of our great wrestling podcasts, as well as sports, video games, and entertainment. Don't forget that. And go check it out. And our friends over at 411mania.com and LastRealProWrestling.com are great supporters of ours. So please do us a favor and go support them. Besides that, Sean, we've had a great show. We've had a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this weekend. We're going to have some more great wrestling coming our way. And boy, it's just going to be so exciting to see what takes place. And so that runs out our show. So I just want to make sure we give you, everybody out there, a big thank you. And for myself, Gary Vaughan, and Mr. Sean Garmer over there, we will catch you guys down the road.
Later, everybody.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.